Great, so I'm here with Darren from Soldo. Soldo are one of our founding app partners. We're really excited to have you on our site, App Advisory Plus. I wanted to have a quick chat with you just to go through some of the key features of Soldo, what problems you're trying to solve for your customers, who you integrate with, and what the onboarding and support experience is like.
Okay, so Soldo is we automate the expense management cycle. We're a prepaid expense account solution, which basically means that you give cards to employees and also to departments. We enable the capture and automation and processing of information around bookkeeping to make bookkeeping much easier for organisations, but we also set controls in place as well that mean that organisations can issue cards and enable their employees to spend company money in a more responsible way. We currently currently integrate with Xero. We've got the leading integration with both Backfeed and also full integration with Xero, and we've just announced the integration with QuickBooks Online as well.
Okay, great.
In terms of our customers, we've got over 60,000 at the moment, and the onboarding process for us is either via the accounting channel or online. We acquire customers through online and also via the accounting channel as well. The accountants, we want to provide as much support as possible for them. So we typically work with those accountants to get their first couple of clients on board. The accountants get Soldo free of charge for their own practice as well, so they can actually use Soldo, get the benefit of Soldo for their own business before they start advocating it to their client base as well.
Cool, that sounds great. So can you take me through a bit more of like the customer experience? So someone's been loaded with a prepaid expense card, they've bought something, what happens then?
So as soon as a customer spends using a card, they get an alert on the app to tell them to snap the receipt, categorise the expense, add a note, and then once they've done that, they never have to do an expense report ever again. So expenses are a pain in the arse for everyone, whether you're the end user customer or whether you're the accountant that's helping to manage that process. So it's a very, very simple process. If you can use your bank debit card, then you can use Soldo. It's a MasterCard solution, so it works anywhere that MasterCard's accepted.
And so with the categorisation, I'm sure all the accountants and bookkeepers ask this question, like where do the categories come from? What tax rates pull through?
Sure.
Do you have to pick the tax?
Yeah, that's fine. So what happens is all the nominals come through from Xero or the accounting platform that you're using. Those nominals create the spending categories. Those categories are then used so you can suppress certain ones if you don't want them all to be exposed. So if you've got 50 different categories in Xero or nominals in Xero and you only want 20 to be exposed to the users, you can specify which ones you want on, which ones you want turned off as well.
So employees aren't going to be going out and buying fixed assets.
Exactly. So the whole point there is that you can actually set that so it's much easier for people to be able to use.
Brilliant. And so what about the tax? How does that side of it work?
So all the VAT rates are imported from the Xero chart of accounts or the accounting chart of accounts. You can obviously make changes to that if you need to. So what happens is by default the standard mapping is applied to any transaction that comes through, but then you can always override that if need be as well. And you can override that in Soldo, or you can also override that in the accounting platform as well.
Okay. And rules? Are there any rules that you can set up?
So you can set because we're part of the MasterCard platform. What happens is you have these things called MasterCard merchant category rules.
Yeah.
MasterCard merchant category rules means that every organisation, every merchant that accepts MasterCard is categorised. Okay, so we can say that Soldo cards can be used this specific Soldo card can be used in these types of establishments. If somebody tries to use it outside of those establishments, then it's just rejected. Okay, so what you're able to do is really control to the nth degree how those cards are going to get used. And as I say, what we talk about is setting preemptive spending controls rather than actually setting it, having an expenses policy, the 20-page report that you expect every employee to read, who no one ever does. With this, you set those rules from the get-go, so no money can be spent unless it's been basically programmed into the system. Okay. And it's super easy to do.
So I'll give an example. Someone's off to a conference like we are. You've given them a budget for their food and subsistence. You don't want them to spend it on junk food. You can do that?
That's slightly trickier, to be honest, because all the different merchants come down to food, for example. So what you have is Burger King and the healthiest food like toast or whatever it might be will also be in the same spending category. However, one of the things that we're launching very, very soon is the ability to specify by merchant. So actually, setting those same rules but by merchant. So actually, McDonald's, no way.
No.
Burger King, no way. But actually, like, you know, anything that's a healthier option, you can do. Doesn't stop you from going to Pret and getting, you know, 20 bags of crisps if you wanted to. So
or blueberry muffins.
Exactly.
Okay, that all sounds great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cheers for speaking to us.
Thank you. Cheers.